Welcome to July 7th, 2021, Lunch and Learn. Great to be back with everybody. It's time for some summer strums, some ukulele blues. All right, thanks for tuning in today to MC Lunch and Learn, July 7th, 2021. Have a fun little show for you today. Had something else prepared for you that will be later in the month, but as musicians, a lot of times we have to learn how to improvise. And I had something ready to go that was all edited and it vanished. So sometimes that happens in music. You might show up to a gig and not have the piece of written music that you thought you had. And so a lot of times it's a process and a training to actually improvise and kind of roll with things. That's what part of the whole pursuit of learning music does. And I am just checking to make sure we are live here, and I'm going to look if there's any comments. Just let me know. Okay. So ukulele blues. Why do I have a keyboard in the picture? I will tell you why. I'm going to demonstrate a little piano blues to you, and then fuse that together with the ukulele. So playing the blues is super fun on piano. Thing is, there's typically 88 keys. It's pretty heavy to move around. And so in the summer, you want to be able to have a beach bag and get out to Siesta Key, get out to Lido with a ukulele or a cigar box guitar, which you are going to want to attend that clinic put on by Sarasota's own Steve Arvey. He's got a whole course about building cigar box guitars. Call the front office, Music Compound, check out www.musiccompound.com and the Facebook page for more information on that. Definitely want to make you aware of that. Ukulele and cigar box guitars, somewhat related in the fact that we have 4 strings on a ukulele. Cigar box could be 3. These all descend from instruments starting with 1 string. Frets. Okay, so with going out to the beach, we've established bringing your keyboard or your entire sound rig is probably not going to happen. It's probably going to take most of your day to deal with all that. So you want to be able to just take a ukulele and get to it and have some fun in the sun. So what I'm going to do is put up this first little chord that we're going to call C7. And for those of you that already know how to read ukulele chord diagrams, go for it. For those of you who don't, I'm going to come back on camera and just explain a couple things to you. Okay, so we've got the first string right here. That's the one that's furthest away from you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fourth string is the one that's actually closest to your heart. And on ukulele, it's this high string. Okay, so for now we're going to go with the fourth string, and we want to get used to this, going back and forth from the third fret to the first fret. So fret 3 to fret 1. Ideally, you want to use 2 different fingers for this. If that's a little too tricky for you right now, if we're just, starting out beginner level on ukulele, as long as you just hold down that third fret and you strum everything else, you can use that same finger to slide down to that first fret as well. But again, ideally, we want to be switching fingers there. So this is our first move, which is, again, the C7. So we're going back and forth from C to C7. Now let's work on a little strum on this. And so in the blues, I was talking with our amazing instructor, multi-instrumentalist instructor, Aaron Chavon at MC, and we were talking about the rhythm of the blues, and I typically will explain that rhythm as like a horse is trotting. Gut-tum, 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 gut-tum. And he was telling me about how it's actually derived from the railroad, the sound of the train on the railroad tracks. Gut-tum, 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 gut-tum. And so we want to emulate that kind of rhythm. We want to get used to that. And so what we're going to do is, with the left hand, we're just going to gently touch the strings. We're not going to press down, or else when we strum, it's going to make kind of a real rough sound that's not intended. But what we want to do is just gently touch the strings. That way, when we strum, we just kind of get this snare drum kind of sound. And we're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's literally just down, up, down, up. But the rhythm that we want to have with that is gut-tum, 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 gut-tum. Now, as this is going on, we're going to go back to this C7 thing. And so, again, we're going to be changing from fret 3 to fret 1. This time, we're going to put a little strum with it. Down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. A lot of times in a lesson, we may go through something like this and count out the rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you could also say down, up, long, short, long, short. However you want to kind of wrap your brain around that rhythm and getting used to it. Okay, so that's for the C chord. Now, a total beginner, this may be a little much for you, but intermediate to advanced, you guys know this. This is the F chord. So we want to have that second fret on the fourth string and that first fret on the second string. So if what I just said doesn't make any sense, hold on, I'm coming back on camera here, and I'm going to explain that to you. Just break that down for you. So what it is, it's going to be your second fret on that fourth string. So the string that's closest to you, we skip a string, and we're going to play this first fret right there on that second string. Now we play them both together. That is the F chord right there. So let's get that strum going, that down, up, down, up. Remember, you can always practice it muted. This is even fun to do with, the waves coming in. You're sitting there at a sand dune. No notes in particular. Just practice your strum and try to find a rhythm internally that really mashes up with the rhythm of the waves coming in and the wind. I'm sure you got some wind today. And we are at MC today. We're teaching. I'm broadcasting right now from home. That's why it's a little different here. But we are at MC today. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So this is going back and forth from the C to the C7 to the F. Now you might be asking, okay, I've got the down, up. I've got the long, short kind of strum. I've got the chords. But what is this thing that's happening when you're going that? So that's a mute. It's a rest in between, and it's very deliberate, and it breaks up the strums. The reason that you'll hear that virtually on any type of rhythm like this is because if we just kept going with the strum, it's going to take about 1 more minute of that, and it's going to be like, oh, done. Don't want to hear it anymore. So we want to break up that rhythm a little bit. Give the ear just a little rest, just like a beat of silence. And that's what's happening. And so we're going down, up, down, up, down, up. So at that point, I'm doing a gentle just tap on the neck. I like to be just right above that sound hole and just kind of at the top of the neck there. And so we got, okay, I'm going to tune. And another thing that you want to get comfortable with is, of course, you know, we've got our digital ukulele tuners available, but we also want to be able to tune by ear. It's a lot of times faster, and it also trains your ear. So just needed a little fine tuning there. So I'm going to incorporate that mute for you here. So what you want to do is practice going back and forth from that C to the C7 with that little mute in between. Okay, so you might be saying, okay, got the C, got the C7, got the F, I need another key, or else it's going to be just a day at the C playing C. So we want an alternative chord, and alternative key. So that's why I'm going to show you this A to A7. Okay, so a lot of us already know actually the A major chord. And so just take a moment, if you want, even screenshot this if you're not quite familiar with the chord. And then A7 is actually a little bit easier to play than the A major chord because all it takes is 1 finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. And that's it. And then from there, what's going to happen is you're just going to strum everything. Beautiful sound. Let's listen to the difference. This isn't total blues here, but let's listen to the difference of every string open. Now, if your ukulele is in tune, it's going to sound like this. If it's out of tune, it's not going to be a pleasing sound. That being said, if tuning just kind of throws you and you're not sure where to start, please bring your instrument to Music Compound, and one of us will be glad to tune it, wipe it down. We've got all the cleaning protocols in place, and we'll tune it for you. We want to help you get playing your instrument quickly, so please don't let it just sit there and gather dust. Bring it in, we'll clean it up, we'll tune it for you so you can get playing. So, all right. So that being said, let's listen to the difference of all the open strings. And now we're going to put this 1 note change in there, making an A7. Again, 1st fret Oh, look at that shot right there. That's how I need to do this. Okay, so we've got first fret on that third string. Now, I want to encourage you as well. These marks up here are from playing a lot. I'm going for trigger. I'm going for trigger, which is Willie Nelson's guitar. Okay, so C6 to A7. Another whole thing that we haven't talked about till now is arpeggios. Sounds incredibly hard. It's not. All it is literally, just to start out, just use your thumb, play each string one at a time, and let's do that on the A7 chord as well. Literally just this. Just kind of imagine you're just chilling on the sand dune, watching those waves come in. Maybe it's around sunset. Some nice little doodles there. Okay, so another chord that is going to go with your blues progression, and then we're going to shift gears, and I'm going to show you a really cool blues scale that you're going to be able to screen capture and practice just on ukulele. Okay, so what we want to do is arpeggios from C6 to this A7. But now, I want to show you this one. Okay, so what this is, it's the second fret on your third string and the second fret on your first string. And so what's going to happen is we're going to put those down together. This is part of an E7 chord, but it's going to work with everything. So when we're in A7, real nice summer strum here, very relaxed. Somebody told me one time, they said, man, I don't know about ukulele. It's just too joyful of a sound. It's not melancholy. And I agree. It is a joyful sound, and that's why I like it. Now, depending on the chords that you play, obviously you could have it be a little more melancholy. But the difference between ukuleles and, say, a mandolin, the biggest difference is the number of strings, yes, 4 to 8, but it's actually the quality of the string, the integrity of the string, which is the ukulele is going to have nylon strings, essentially fishing line, and mandolins are going to have steel strings, and so they're going to sound much brighter. Also, the cigar box guitars will have, I believe, Steve Arvey strings as well. So make sure you sign up for that. Any of these movements that we're doing on ukulele, they can all be translated to cigar box as well. That being said, once again, I am going to show you this tab here that I made for you. Okay, so again, if you're not clear on what all this means, go ahead and just screen capture what you're looking at here, and I will explain it in a couple minutes to you, but I'm going to play it for you and just kind of watch as each note goes by. So I'm playing those notes just very straight with no real rhythm other than a steady rhythm. Okay, so now these same notes could be played with a blues shuffle swing kind of rhythm. And what that is the blues scale. And so I'm going to also explain it to you this way, just visually, for those of you that maybe that tab was a little too much. So we've got the open string here, and that is the third open string. So it's going to sound like this. It's actually the lowest string on the guitar, even though it's the third. It's the lowest pitch. And what it is, it's a C note. So it's like, just like C on the piano. So you've got C, we're going to hit that 2 times open. Now the next string over is the second string, and that's going to be open as well. So super easy. I mean, we're literally, the first 2 notes of this scale are open strings. So it's just going. Okay, so we want to get used to that. For you intermediates, try using 2 different fingers, thumb and then your first finger. If that's too much, just go with the one thumb. Now the next note. So this is that 3rd fret on that 2nd string. And again, I'm just going to drop in that tab for you so you can see where that 3rd fret is. All right. So now we're going back. Open. So now we're on the open, 1st string open. All right. So now we're 4 notes in. We've got C, E. Here is our 1st fret on the 1st string. Gonna drop that tab back in there and you can see. So we've got open, open, 3, open, 1. Then we just work our way back down, which means, and we're going to hear those notes just go back down the musical ladder the same way that we went up. Now I know this may take a bit of time just getting this together, but the more that you visit this in what we like to call micro-burst practice sessions, what that means is, let's face it, this is a tiny instrument, okay? And so it's fun to play, it's light and everything, but let's also take that in terms of the way we approach it in our practice, where we can practice it in micro-burst sessions, which means just have it out, very accessible for you, so it's not sitting in a case in a closet. It is on a stand or a wall mount ready to be played. And let's say you have 5 minutes just to go over a scale like this. But let's say you have 5 minutes 2 times in a day. And let's repeat that 4 times in the week. So obviously that's going to be 40 minutes of practice, and that repetitive motion of going through that scale is going to help build your muscle memory so that eventually you're just going to go through that scale and it's no big deal. You're going to be able to put some rhythm to it and then get to your chords. Combine all those things that we just went over. And then right, so that's a great little vignette there for, just gathering with some friends around campfire or at the beach, just what I call super doodles on the ukulele, just getting you started. Let's look one more time at that other key, which would be the A7. So we're going to review that really, really quick. First fret, your third string, down, up, 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 down, up. And then the chord that would go along with this could be this one, which is your second frets there, or just go to all your open strings. And so that would sound like this. All right, so I'm going to click here and see if I can get into some of the comments. It has been a minute since I've been on Switcher, and so seeing if... All right. Cool. Thank you, Alyssa. All right. Thanks for commenting, Huff. Hopefully Ricky will get something out of this. All right, so one more time. I definitely can hear my tuning changed. And that's something that I want you to realize. It's Florida, okay? It's humid. So it's going to affect the tuning of any acoustic instrument. And so this, especially with it being just earlier in the day, it's going to need to be tuned a couple times, especially after playing it. If tuning throws you, please remember, do not hesitate. Just bring your instrument to Music Compound. We're going to be glad to clean it up for you and tune it. So that is my 2-minute notification here. Loved every second of being back with you in Lunch and Learn. We've got a lot of cool episodes that are going to drop in at you this July month. And I did want to plug a local product, very good for your immune system. Give it up for Sarasota Honey Company. You can see, I mean, I've hardly got any left here. It's like hanging on to gold here. And so I need to get some more, and wanted to plug Special Nutrition. Amazing price on the honey. They've got all the different varietals from Sarasota Honey Company. Raw, unfiltered. Use it in your life. Be healthy. Make incredible music. Let us know how you're doing and how we can be a part of your musical learning and growing process. Thanks so much for tuning in, MC fam, and we will see you in the near future. Have a great day.